earliest memories of Stoney Point were discovering it while we were hopping freight trains. We looked up and we saw all these rocks and we thought, well, let's explore that. So we did. We didn't have any climbing gyms in those days, so we didn't have that as an alternative, and Stoney was the place. It's where it was happening. So I would go to Stoney and develop myself, develop my strength and abilities in ways that I never knew that I could do.
It's amazing when you look at the history of climbing and you see how many people actually learned all the foundations of climbing out here at Stoney Point and then went onward to other places, really all over the world, to go climbing.
At the time, there was no 510, there was no 511, and Bob was freeing these aid routes back in the late 60s with hiking boots on, no trick micro nuts and cams and bitchin' shit, funky 50-meter ropes. He was freeing all this stuff back in the day. He was the Huber and the Caldwell and the Eugene, all these guys that are freeing the Potter. He was that of his day.
I mean, just Bob Camps, just watching him climb when he was in his 50s and his 60s, and it was stunning.
When I started climbing, Bachar was already here. He was in high school. He was already better than everyone else. He was slow, precise, perfect, and really, really good.
Michael Reardon was a local climber, and he was a very exuberant character. I got to see him solo something that actually I think the prow is actually quite a gnarly solo, because the prow is quite a slippery climb in one spot. And he came up the edge and came around the corner and maybe came back again and took another look at it and came back, and he worked his way through it very carefully, never looking horrified or anything like that, just very carefully worked his way up, and it was very impressive to watch.
It is an excellent place to learn all the techniques required to motivate on stone.
Well, what makes Stoney Point special to me is the feeling and the camaraderie I get with the fellow climbers who are, into the same addiction that I am. And I think the fact that Stoney Point, this is it. This is the place we come to. So it's sort of like the center, the rock, or the building, or whatever, that I share something with friends.
That's what makes Stoney Point so great. You got community, you got history, and you got hard climbing.